What's up, everybody? This is Nathan and Alicia, and we have with us today Heidi from Oaklawn, peer recovery coach. So, with Bare Knuckle, and we want to just talk a little bit about recovery coaching and what that looks like and why it's important. Recovery coaching is we remove barriers, promote recovery, connect people to community, and advocate. And that's for people that are struggling in their addiction, and us as peer support are, people that have walked in that and come out of that and have a passion for helping other people. And some of the ways we do that is with our words, promoting that you can do it, you are worth it, anything is possible. We also don't take anything personal, whether it's in conversation. We're just honest, real people. We don't make any assumptions. Everybody's story is different. Even if you've walked in a similar story or the same path, it's different for everybody.
Do you ever get called mean?
I've been cussed out quite a few times, called names. But again, like Nathan said, it's not personal. Like, it could be anybody they're talking to. They're just frustrated with their situation and they need someone to listen.
Right.
It's important.
Yeah. And it's ever changing. So, like, you can have those conversations and grow from that, build on that, and take that into your conversation with the next person. It's just something that we do to lift ourselves up and other people up, from the background they come from or whatever they're struggling with, just to keep moving forward.
And that's why Bare Knuckle actually really started. If you look back at like Tommy and Nate, they come from a peer-to-peer standpoint. We've all walked this path. We all know what it's like to be down in the gutter. We all know what it's like to help another person come up out of it, And Bare Knuckle was started because we want to give back and we want to advocate and we want to inform you about what's going on. And we get a lot of people who don't understand what peer support is. I've literally had people come at me and say, well, aren't felons not allowed to talk to felons? Okay, that's not what this is. This isn't like we're going to lead them into some sort of illegal activity, if you will. This is something to where somebody who's been in the trenches.
Yeah, and we're not a therapist.
Nope.
We're not licensed. We are certified, so we're educated, and we're educated, through the training. But most of all, we're educated because of the life that we've lived and the path that we chose, and that's what makes it great that we can do this. So we can meet people where they're at, be on that level, and be that person that a person wants to have a conversation about with a real life, and just feel like they can be honest because that person understands. Not that anybody's any more important, whether that be a clinical role, a therapist role, or a coach role. We all can talk to each other and do this together.
Absolutely. I always say I don't go to the produce department to talk about my banking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's important to talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about in any instance. And so with this struggle comes shame and guilt.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Heidi, tell me about that. Like when people are coming in and they're talking about that shame and guilt, when they're making that first step to reach out to a peer recovery coach.
Well, I think you guys touched on it a little bit. Like it's a beautiful opportunity to love on people. I mean, when you're in active use, you don't love yourself. Your family's distant, all your relationships are broken. So having one person that's like you just kind of get to love on them a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to point out all the things that they're not doing, like their parents or their family may be doing. I can just come and be like, what do you want to do? And let's make a plan to do that, and not, who cares if you just missed your last appointment? Like, you're here today, and that's what matters, So it's really giving people an opportunity to not focus so much on what they're doing wrong and focus on where they're at and where they want to go and how can we make that happen for them.
Which is what all of our mission is. We just want to help people find that next step in doing the right thing. And so one of our mentors, actually all three of us have all gone through the peer recovery coach training through Oaklawn here in the South Bend area. And one of our biggest mentors is John Horsley. And he always says, and I say this to you and I'll repeat it again, you cannot treat you if you're dead, but we can treat you if you come in. And so we'd rather have you in active addiction with your shame and your guilt and all of your mess come to us,
Yes.
reach out, hit up the Bare Knuckle page. Let us get you connected with somebody in your area, wherever that area may be. Our phones are on, you know. We definitely want to make sure that we're getting you connected and helping you stay connected, because I'm telling you, it's that connection piece for me that keeps me going.
Oh, yes, absolutely. It definitely is fulfilling. But, you know, you think about it too, like, a therapist isn't going to have time to do the stuff that a recovery coach does. Like, I'm going to meet you where you're at. You know, it's not going to be in this block session of time where we have only the certain things. I'm able, like, because a therapist is unethically allowed to share, like, their personal experience when it's appropriate. Like, I can definitely share, like, look, I have been exactly where you are. I've been that sick. I've been, you know, that shamed and everything. And like, I made it out, and you can too. And being able to provide that and just take extra steps that some, you know, other positions aren't able to do. And that's where recovery coaching is so important.
Right, it's the peer to peer support, and we've actually were just talking about this before the video came on. We were talking about the fact that some people don't think people use it, and we're here to tell you all walks use peer support.
Mhm.
Maybe that's through a meeting that they or whatever. But peer to peer is vital, and I think with bare knuckle and with what we're doing, Nathan, you kind of came into this from a peer support, like, and it's changed your whole life.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, just having the opportunity to use that avenue to get into the field that you're passionate about and help people coming out on the other side is very gratifying. Like, you wonder where your place is at, or how you go back to a life when people say that you got to change your people, places, and things, and you don't know how to break through into a new, avenue or new way of life. Like, taking the recovery coach training and using that as a step in to
Yes.
take on a new role, a new career, and new responsibilities to
new
actually help
friends.
people. Yeah, help friends, new friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it completely transformed and changed my life, um, to get me to where I'm at now, to do something that I was always too afraid to do, but
Mhm.
being put in the position from coming from the bottom and making your way back to the top is just, it's just unreal, and it's just a way to self educate and to help others, and it was life changing for me, life saving for me. And that's what I was going to ask you next, is how you got into that through your journey.
So I completed classes at Oakland, and they were mentioning it. And at first, it sounded really great, but like at the time, like I wasn't able to do it. And I understand why, you know, God kind of has a plan and a purpose. You can't zoom past what He wants you to do,
Right?
because that's kind of pointless and not good. But so it just, I really felt like God laid on my heart, like I didn't just save you to pray for people, like, you know, and what are you waiting for, a degree? And so I actually started off as a volunteer, you know, and then I took the next recovery coach training and became an employee. And it's amazing what I learned out of that. Like,
Mm.
it, you learn a lot about yourself, you learn a lot about stigma, and it just gives you a fire to want to help more. Like, man, there's people in need, and like I have the experience to help. Why not? You know, like,
Right.
let's help these people.
One of the biggest principles in recovery too is they always say you only have what you have by giving it away. And so that's why I think it was key. You and I were in class together last
Yes,
March.
yes, we were.
Actually,
Yes.
saw each other every like it was like 7 days every weekend for a little
Oh, it was
while.
like some 70 some hours.
Yeah, but shout out to ICATA, and we are blessed in this particular area to have one of the best trainers possible, which is Brandy. Her last name's changed now because she's married.
It's Willis Anderson.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
She's amazing.
So she's one of the best trainers, and lucky for you guys. So check this out. Oaklawn has some training for peer recovery coaches, new peer recovery coaches coming up.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a few sessions. And if you're interested, hit up the Bare Knuckle page. We can get you connected. But one of those trainings is actually going to be taking place in March. Now, it is a time commitment. I'll tell you right off the bat. There's going to be a couple weekends that you're going to be off. It's like 7 days, but it's 5 days of training with 2 ethics courses, because ethics is everything. We got to make sure we're on the up and up about what we do. But you can check it out. So hit up the Bare Knuckle page. Reach out to us if you're interested. You can go on Oaklawn's website. They have The training dates, you can head up Recover Michiana. We'll be
On
happy.
their Facebook page.
Yeah,
even.
on the Facebook page. So training, there's a training in March if you can make that happen. If not, there's several other trainings, 2 other ones that they've planned for 2022. One being in July, and I believe another one being in October, if I'm correct. Let me just look here real quick. But yeah, so we're really excited to be able to talk about this. So yeah, it's going to be March, July, November. And it is going to be Zoom links, so you'll be able to do it from wherever you are, which was kind of fun for us because we were in our pajamas.
Yes.
Many of the times we were in our pajamas doing the training. But check this out, guys. This isn't something that you want to take lightly. If you've been pondering over walking in recovery, if you're in an alumni group of some sort, and you're really feeling called to this, you can train, take the training through ICATA. It's the state of Indiana, and maybe apply this because it's peer recovery coaches. They're in ERs.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Like, they're everywhere now. Doctors' offices, ERs, on the streets, in churches, in cafes. It doesn't matter. So yeah, they're in the Fort Wayne area, the South Bend area,
Yes.
and it
There
just
is
creates.
a position for you somewhere.
Yeah, it creates a community. So people always talk about changing your friends, your people, your places, your things. If you're on the fence about something, reach out and ask for a connection to a recovery coach, no matter where you're at, and we can provide that. And you make that connection with the recovery coach, and all those things can come into play to change those very easily.
Big news happening on the peer recovery coach front. Soft opening of the Fort Wayne Recovery Cafe is this week, with the major opening happening next week on the 24th. Can't believe this is really happening in Fort Wayne. Congratulations and shout out to all those guys out there. We Bloom and Ryan out there doing big things. So we're really excited for you. We'll be out there. We're going to do a live video from there next week. Nathan and I will be trekking out to Fort Wayne for a few days. But Heidi, thank you so much for coming on with us, for doing what you do, for
Thank you.
for caring the way that you care. I'll let you end it out.
Yeah, I'm just thankful for Heidi, thankful for all the coaches that we're connected with, and just for all the work that they do, and and all the things that we can do to help them. So just appreciate your time, and we'll catch you next time.